you're going to be asked to be the absolute manager of your own life. And in doing so, you can't just say that it's, as we talked about last month, your destiny. You can't blame it on the fact that you have bad karma, that you were born into a bad family or whatever else. You've had a tendency lately to blame it on the world. Blame all these things on the world, not understanding the world at all, of course, thinking it's confusion, but thinking that it's so affecting you right now. And a true creator really can't do that. A true creator takes absolute responsibility for their life. True creator takes absolutely no responsibility for anyone else's life. And that's also where you're getting confused. You're trying to be their co-creator. And you really can't. Co-creation, true co-creation, only happens between two beings who are absolute conscious creators. Conscious creators. In other words, they're not just thinking about it, but they know it and they're doing it. So what happens is your energy once again gets distracted and fragmented when you're trying to co-create, or as some would call it, interfere with their lives. Isn't that a nice word for you should mind your own business? Now, that doesn't mean, dear ones, that doesn't mean you're not taking an interest in their life or love. It doesn't mean you don't have compassion, but you're not trying to run it for them. Those of you with children really should know what I'm talking about. Those of you who are in a relationship and are trying to, gently guide your partner, manage your partner, I want you to look at home at yourself. First of all, you ultimately can't manage or co-create with another unless they're a conscious creator. You talk about co-creating with spirit. A spirit is a conscious creator. A spirit is within you. Now it's time for you to step up and be that conscious creator. My point in this shout is that it's time to go beyond the concept, beyond the nice words, to be the absolute manager of your life. Now you say, but Tobias, I tried that, and it doesn't work. Because you're still letting others influence you, and you're still letting some old belief systems influence you. And you say, but it's so hard to do. I would tend to agree with that. It is challenging right now because there are a lot of outside variables, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. It actually means simplify. Simplify. Keep simplifying. I know some of you are very frustrated with what you call your creation ability, so much so that you've pretty much thrown it all out. You've said, it doesn't work. I've tried it. I say, and again, we have these discussions. Say, Tobias, I read all of the shouts. Now what's wrong with my life? You read them, but have you accepted them as your words, not mine? Have you accepted that you are the creator, not just going to be a creator? Have you accepted that you're actually a manager of every part of your life, body, mind, and spirit? Or are you still blaming it on your karma, your past lives? Oh, dear, your aspects. Blaming it on all of your aspects. Well, when you do that, you're no longer managing. You're letting everybody else manage it for you. You're letting everybody else run your life. But what they're doing right now as the clock is ticking down, your family and friends, co-workers, your body, mind, and spirit, your aspects, every part of you that's involved in your life is coming back to you right now and saying, are you the manager, the creator, the owner? Are you the one going to be making decisions and choices? And you're not sure. You're really not sure. You're not sure because you don't know what it looks like or how to do it. You think, but you actually do. You're not sure because you don't know if you can transcend mass consciousness, or transcend even yourself from past lives, your old ways. So you get back into that rut, blaming others, hiding. It doesn't work anymore. You tried that also. You tried to take refuge away from the world. In many ways a wonderful thing, because you just needed the time by yourself. But you've had time by yourself. Lord knows you've had time by yourself. And now you can feel that clock ticking away. You can feel that phenomenal change and its potential waiting. And it's saying, are you ready to come out now? Are you ready to be a creator? Not just thinking about it, but actually doing it. Taking management and responsibility for everything in your life. Everything. Your body. Stop pretending it's some medical complex thing that's beyond you. Stop playing physical mystification with yourself, where you think that you don't know how your body works. It's just this apparatus that's just kind of operating on its own. That is denying that you're a creator and an owner.